Ever since I made my first video on the R&D tax credit, people have been asking me, well, how do you qualify? For example, they said they asked their accountant, they've asked their CPA, and no one seems to be a specialist in this one area. So today, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can qualify and all the questions and kind of answers you want to get together to make sure you maximize this valuable tax credit. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. I'm Rich Smith, and one of the money lessons they never teach you in schools is exactly how to go about seeing if you qualify for a tax credit, if you can get some money back from the government, and how to get together all that paperwork or answers to those questions that they're eventually going to ask you. So real quick before we dive into it, drop a like for this video. I really appreciate it. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to flash some R&D style questions down here. Now, if you're listening on the podcast, I will say them out loud, but I want you to do some thinking. I'm going to ask some leading questions to try to help you get an answer. And then if you think you're ready, I'll leave a link down below in the description where you could book a free call to see if you qualify and get on the path, have a starting point to getting this money back in your pockets. All right, question number one. What type of work does your business do that is considered a product, a process, or a technique? Now, of course, I'm going to help you out here. The IRS never makes this simple. So what type of work does your business do that produces a product? Well, a product is anything that you make for sale. Okay, so what do you make? Up next, processes. Process can be defined as something like a series of actions or steps taken in order to produce a particular result. So of course you have processes. Of course you have a series of actions that you take to do what you do so well. And lastly, that word technique, it makes me think of everything from an artist to a scientist. In other words, it's your way of carrying out a particular task. So for this first question, when you're starting to think about your business and could it potentially qualify for this tax credit, just think of all the activities that you do for your business, that involve your business, that have to do with the products you produce, the processes you do, and the techniques that you use. Okay, deep breath. Let's move on to the next question. You're going to want to know how your business is set up. And this is a gimme. This is a softball. For example, are you an S Corp? Are you a C Corp? Are you a sole proprietor? Basically, you just want to know how you file your taxes because this is going to be a refundable tax credit, meaning money that's coming back to you. Up next, we're going to do a little rapid fire here. You're going to want to get together the year your company was founded. When was your company founded? Then you're going to need to know the number of US-based employees that you have. We're talking W-2 employees, so how many US-based employees do you have? But also, this tax credit involves US-based contractors as well. We're talking independent contractors, consultants, people you pay for contract work. So how many US-based contractors have you had? And as you are starting to maybe make this mental list or send this to somebody who's going to look all this up, just know that these are going to be ballpark figures to start. When you really start digging into this year after year, meaning we can go back and get this retroactively, we know that those numbers are going to change. You just want to have an idea of how to answer these questions. Moving on, you're probably going to want to grab that P&L for the most recent year because they're going to ask you what your gross receipts are. There is a little bit of a cap here. We're talking in the multi $1 million range if you had gross receipts that exceed that. So you're just going to want to know what those gross receipts were for the most recent year. Oh, and one of the fun ones that kind of goes with this and goes with everything we've all been going through the past few years is, have you received any other government funds, government grants? I know certain states were giving out money, California, New York. There were things like PPP, EIDL, there were ERC credits. You're going to want to know what your business already got and just be able to throw that into the mix. And one of the other things to get together is going to be those products and processes, kind of like a little mental inventory that I mentioned before. You see, if you have separation, segregation, this product we do this for, this process we do that for, then sometimes those could be counted as separate activities, even separate research and development products, procedures, activities, and that could potentially get you a higher tax credit. All right, big picture key takeaways. I threw a lot of questions at you, and this type of video is really just designed for you to press play and pause and jot down exactly what you would need to get started, to have a starting point, to see if your business is eligible for this tax credit. It's been around since the 1980s, for decades, and your business, whether it is brand new or been around for a while, has probably been entitled to some funds. You just didn't know it and are probably going to be surprised if you get this money back. I said it before, but I'm going to leave a link down below in the description. There'll be a calendar there. Just go ahead and book that free call, see what you qualify for, and honestly, all the questions that you're going to be asked are very similar to the ones that I just asked you. So you're going to be prepared, and that's going to get the ball rolling on getting these funds back in your pocket. Please leave me a comment down below if you have any questions that I could potentially answer. I would love it if you would click share and send this to a friend, text it to them, ask them, hey, have you heard about this R&D tax credit? Is this for real? Why don't more people know about it? I've made it a mission to help spread awareness about this, so I appreciate your help. Also, my website is full of other blog posts. We've got podcasts and videos, of course, on this and many other business topics, so feel free to check it out. And if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.